detective. Thrill me.
Thanks for joining us again. Decided to cover a recent film, Jared. We went out to the cinemas and caught The Strangers, Chapter 1.
Yeah.
There was 5 of us in the cinema.
Yep.
It was a 9:40 p.m. session.
The only one on.
Talk about fuck.
In the city.
I cannot
Nowhere else in the city wasn't playing. Last week, maybe we could have got 2 sessions.
There was a 1:30 p.m. session, I believe.
Yeah, the previous
last
week.
Yeah.
But now.
I mean, yeah, I could have knocked off work halfway through the day just to catch it.
Yeah.
So we'll get to that in a minute, but before we get to that, what have you been watching, Jared?
Really not all that much since the last time we got together. I did catch up on a Donnie Darko documentary.
Ah, yes.
Because I watched Donnie Darko on Joe Bob.
Okay. Now, you took aim at Donnie Darko. You've taken aim a couple of times on this podcast about Donnie Darko. That you don't understand and you think it's a bit of bullshit. And
so watching it again, I have more of an appreciation for the actual quality filmmaking. I think they did really well with the budget. But if it's completely incomprehensible... And it seems like I'm not the only one. I mean, Joe Bob continued to say, what the fuck is it all about? And then he had a producer on and he said, you'll be able to tell us, what does this mean? What does that mean? And the producer was like, I've got no idea. You'll have to direct that to Richard Kelly. And Richard Kelly and the other producers continue to say, oh, well, it's open to your interpretation. I mean, fuck. How does that make a great movie?
Yeah.
No one knows what it's about.
It doesn't.
I don't know. I prefer a linear fucking narrative. I prefer a story that you can you can tussle with a little bit, you can untangle.
Yeah, you think to yourself, geez, I had to think about that, but I understand, I roughly understand what it was about. Fuck, my mind hurts. I still don't know what's happening.
There's many a movie that I've sort of, come out of and was just sort of thinking about what's this all about? And you go in and read other people's opinions, you go and then you watch it again and you do this and that. Darko, I could watch it fucking a million times and I would have no fucking idea what's going on.
Well, let me ask you this, Jack.
I get the understanding. Oh yeah, there's a teen who's fucking pushing against society's fucking expectations of him and all this sort of stuff. But the story is just not, to me. It doesn't fucking rise anything out of me, any emotions.
Well, Jared, let me ask you this: would you watch it again?
Well, I found the director's cut, so I was thinking of having a look at that, but I've heard it's even more.
No, but you know what I mean?
Incomprehensible.
My enjoyment of a film usually makes me come back to, well, would I watch that again? If someone said we're putting this on, would I watch it? Something like that, I just can't. Like I tighten. Like when someone says to me, "Let's put on Donnie Darko,"
you say, "Oh shit, I got somewhere to be."
I don't know about that one. Like I always start fucking giving excuses as to why I don't want to watch it.
Yeah.
And there's a number of films like that.
Yeah, it's funny because I think with the distance and my recollections of really not enjoying it, I probably didn't give it enough credit for real quality acting. I mean, there's things to like about it that I didn't really... I'd sort of forgotten about or just passed over in my own angst last time I was watching it.
Yeah, fair enough.
So, yeah, there is some really fantastic stuff and there is more... Like, Richard Kelly does a lot in terms of, shots and the way scenes play out that is better than I've given him credit for.
Okay.
But if I've got to sit there and watch a movie multiple times and I still think...
I don't know.
I don't know what is going on. It's really hard to fucking get the emotions out of me and get what I love about fucking storytelling and movies. So that's where it fails for me.
Yeah.
So
I would agree with that.
Yeah. The doco was a bit ordinary as well. It was kind of just, this is how it happened. There wasn't really any, when you watch something like a Not Quite Hollywood or a doco like that, you get all these. There's a reason for telling it. It's not just this is how we made Mad Max.
Yeah.
It's all the people going, I'm surprised I didn't die making this film, that make the thing entertaining.
Yeah, there's some humorous
something in its
anecdotes
own
and stuff
right.
like that out of those things.
And same with the sports docos that I love. You get they sort of pull the curtain back. This one, it was just like a little peek behind the curtain to say, here's what we did. And I mean, to me, give us something. Give us something about what your intention was, what you were trying to fucking the message you were trying to leave us with.
Yeah.
Especially on one like this, where I understand. Yeah, part of the cult appeal of it is people have fucking gotten together and thrown these theories back and forth for over a decade, well, nearly 2 decades now, isn't it? So I get that. I understand that that's part of the appeal to it, but I'd love to hear what you were trying to go for.
Yeah, explain your thought process behind it.
I didn't get any of that.
Because if you're saying, if as the director you're saying it's up for interpretation, then just tell us what you thought, like what you were going for.
I think it's because he was fucking high as a kite when he wrote the fucking thing and still doesn't really remember.
Yeah, I actually reckon he doesn't know.
Yeah. Also, the bunny. The design of the bunny is fucking excellent.
Yeah.
It does really
creepy. Very creepy.
Yeah. So, yeah, there's a few things that I give it more credit for, but if the story is, like I said, if I'm tussling and I've got you in a figure 4 leg lock or a sharpshooter,
and
I still can't crack the nut.
Yeah. If I'm like, fucking hell, was it about that? Like, if I go like this, if I go, yeah, okay, it was definitely about that, and then 2 seconds later I read on Google it was not about that at all, then I start going, oh, shit, what? Like, do I watch it again? And then I think to myself, no, don't do that.
Yeah.
So Donnie Darko, struggle down.
It's a struggle for me.
Anything else?
So I'm currently, I'll put it out there. I haven't finished it. I'm close to finishing it, but I watched Mind Ripper. Yeah, I tried to get onto Mind Ripper.
Is this the one
produced by Wes
Craven?
I think it was
made
co-written
by his son?
Jonathan.
Was it directed by his son?
Oh, gee, it's rough. It's really rough. Like, yeah.
It's got Lance Henriksen in it.
It's got Lance Henriksen. It's got Giovanni Ribisi.
Oh.
It's terrible. It's really bad. I'm watching it with the Riff Tracks commentary.
Yeah.
If I wasn't watching it with that, it would be really hard to continue. It's terrible.
Okay. That was it.
That's it.
All right.
I've been watching a little bit of TV, a little bit of comedy, some Taskmaster.
Yes,
which is good fun. Just to break things up a little bit.
I have a number of films that I have watched. We stuck with our Psychos Are Us film.
Which at this point sounds just like shitfest all over again.
Kind of like shitfest. No, well, not really, because
you got a couple of dogs.
There's a couple of good ones in there, but there's some shit.
Oh, I haven't heard it yet. I haven't heard the good ones.
Okay, so we watched The Woman in the Window, which is like shit, like substandard Rear Window.
Again, still waiting for the good ones.
It got good actors, and it's really well made, but it just doesn't quite find the right tone for me. And it's just interesting to again think that Rear Window is much simpler, but much more effective.
Yep.
Which they keep trying to fucking overdo it. Then, Jared, I did go for a good one. Summer of '84, which is the old classic, the neighbour next door, we think he might be a killer.
Mm-hmm.
But it's mixed with a coming-of-age story, which I think predominantly actually works well. Watching it the second time, I actually had a lot more appreciation for it. And I actually think the ending, which leaves things in a weird spot, but is very effective, I think.
I can't really remember another ending that ends the same as that, and I think it's really effective. Like, there's similar ones where, it's not necessarily all tied up neatly, but, I dug that one.
I dug it a lot, and really good film. Really good film. I'm glad I actually had to hire that, so I paid money for that. I then watched I think it was a Spanish thriller on Netflix called Prey. Basically, a group of guys camping in the wilderness. They're suddenly being hunted by a sniper. It was pretty average. Pretty average. Like that concept can work well, but it hits a major flaw, Jared, and that is they're on the run. Like, how are you going to catch them? How are you going to hunt them down? They're running. They're not trapped. Like, the good sniper ones are ones where they're trapped. Like in Phone Booth, where he can't go anywhere. Speaking of similar issues, I went back and watched Alone. I believe you've seen Alone, Jared.
I have.
It's very highly regarded.
Yeah, I don't know why.
I can't understand why. It was really flat.
Yeah.
Like, really flat.
Yep.
There wasn't an ounce of suspense. There was nothing. And that one, again, has a problem. The girl on the run from her attacker jumps into a raging river. I mean, you're 20 miles downstream.
Yeah.
How the fuck's he going to find you?
Yeah.
But yet, of course, he rocks up again. It's just like, it's impossible to kind of buy that sort of shit. And even the stuff on the road where he's kind of constantly bailing her up, you know, at like rest stops and stuff.
Yeah.
That had a little bit of creep about it.
Yep.
But it just wasn't done very well.
No, I didn't think so either.
So I'm not quite sure. It's 90-something on Rotten Tomatoes. Everyone seemed to love it.
Yeah, but 90... See, that comes back to the whole... That could be 90% of reviewers giving it 3 out of 5 because that's a fresh rating.
Yeah, that's right.
I wouldn't have even given it 3 out of 5.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I didn't like it at all. Then we went for The River Wild.
Mm-hmm.
Bacon sizzles as the villain. Quite a decent performance from one Bacon. The River Wild's okay. But again, I seem to remember Meryl Streep's supposed to be the hero, but yet she's kind of not.
Mm-hmm.
The husband is the hero. I mean, she does some heroic stuff, but it kind of like feels like they kind of like, well, she can't be the hero. She's female. She can't be the hero. So it's 1994. I mean, women can't be heroic, for God's sake.
Yeah.
And
I mean, we hadn't seen Terminator 2, but...
Yeah, we hadn't seen Terminator 2 or Aliens by that stage. And, you know, it was a bit of a, like, for me, it was kind of like, so you couldn't give the fucking best actress in the world an opportunity to be a hero. Properly. You had to give her half of it. Give the other guy can do the rest.
Yeah, the other bloke, yeah. What was his name again? Fuck, who knows?
I can't, he is an actor of note. I just can't remember what his name is now. Look, it was all right. I believe it's been remade recently.
Really?
Yes. I was surprised when I saw it come up.
Oh, actually, no, I think you're right.
Is it Adam Brody who might be in it? I can't remember now, but I didn't realise it had been remade. And the last one, Jared, this one, because me and my wife are going sort of on and off. So I pick one, she picks one. She watched the trailer. Now, she said to me, the trailer sold me a totally different movie. The trailer sold me a psychotic thriller. It was called Nocturnal Animals.
Good God.
Fucking fantastic cast.
Yep.
Amy Adams, Jake Gyllenhaal, Isla Fisher, fucking Michael Shannon. Just pretentious garbage. Like, at the end of it, I was just like, it's boring, and it was just like kind of so full of itself. I was just like, oh my God. So I've got to readjust the ship tonight with some real fucking shit.
Yeah, right.
I'm going to get real tacky tonight.
I think both of you also need to engage with this thing called Google that I told you about after you see a good trailer to follow up and see.
Again, I did not have anything to do with it because halfway through the movie, I actually turned to her and said, "So what made you think this was like what we were going with?" And she's like, "The fucking trailer showed me something totally different."
Again, I see a good trailer, I go, gee, I'm interested in
I
this.
better check
punch
it out.
into Google.
But you know what? The interesting part was we were supposed to see that same movie at Sunset Cinema a couple of years ago.
Good.
I could
Got rained out?
Honestly, no. The projector didn't work by fucking sheer luck because I guarantee you I would have left.
Yeah.
After about an hour, because I would have just been like, it's fucking late. Like, I can't sit through this. I refuse to sit through this for a whole 2 hours.
Oh, God.
Because it was also another one that was kind of jumping back and forth, Jared. So flash forwards, flashbacks, a novel, like the story of a novel.
So when you've had your quick 10-minute nap, you wake up and there's a flashback. You're thinking, who are these people?
You know what? You can fucking jam it.
It sounds like you're having a really good time with this at the moment.
Man. No,
what's been the pick?
The best one.
Because you told me you've seen some good movies. I didn't hear one in there.
The best one of the lot is Summer of '84 for me.
Okay.
Summer of '84 is
River Wild, mildly positive.
River Wild, mildly positive. Hand That Rocks the Cradle, positive.
Positive.
I can't remember what the other ones were, but yeah, some of it like sort of very middling. Most of them have been middling, and then there was something like Swim Fan, which was fucking awful.
Yep.
But I reckon I need to get on Tubi because they've got a shitload of that stuff. They are drenched in that stuff, Jared, and it's crap.
Yeah,
It's absolute crap.
Well, they make a bunch of those thrillers, like
Tubi originals,
chips. I wouldn't want to watch any of them, but have at it. Go for it. You can tell me about it. I'll stick to their original slashes, which I also sometimes don't want to watch, but I do.
At the moment, I want to continue to hold the high ground after last night, so I'm going to try and find something reasonably decent.
Yeah, right. So you're still stuck in like a serve and volley game. You're not just gonna...
I want to come to the net. I want to come to the net, Jared, but
she's giving you the opportunity.
I haven't found anything that's what you would consider coming to the net. Like, that's the problem with those movies. Even with good casts, they're all middle of the road kind of turds that, you know, they get a little bit of gloss because they've got a star in them.
Yeah.
Even Fatal Attraction, which is one of the ones that everyone knows about.
Why don't you go back to that one with Kay Costner?
What was
it Mr. Brooks or whatever it's...
Oh, there was a serial killer.
Yeah, whip something stupid like that out.
Oh, fuck. I'm not going to lie to you, though. I can't stop laughing about he left Yellowstone to make these three grandiose epics, and everyone's saying they're pretty shit house.
Well,
the
it's
first
the
one's
first
very
one
average.
because the other two aren't out, and the first one really needs to hit to make the other two.
They reckon it's looking at opening at about 10 million.
And not only that, but he's put his own cash up.
Yeah, this is Kevin. This is classic Kevin.
This is Vanity Project.
Yeah. It's when Kevin's the king of this crap.
Horizon. An American saga, which seems like it's going to turn into an American flop.
Yeah, but you know what I mean?
They're going to have 2 more pictures in the can.
And it's $100 million budget too, I think.
Yeah.
But fuck, like Kevin's done this before. You're riding high on Yellowstone. Why do you bite the hand that feeds you all the time, Kevin? Why can't you just fucking do...
Well, Kevin's
You're an older actor now. Just fucking go with it. Look at Stallone.
Apparently Kevin's
He's whipping out Tulsa the King and laughing at extras.
Exactly. Yeah, you tee up with Taylor Sheridan, you put some stupid TV show out and you make fun of people for the rest of your 70s. 70s and 80s if you're lucky enough to get there.
Oh, thank you.
But talk about, like, Kevin was on a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
You ride that shit until the horse just can't walk anymore.
Yeah. And then you make Horizon.
Yeah.
The fucking saga of idiots.
But Kevin's noted for being, you know, when the cards are in Kevin's hands, he's a bit of an a-hole. So this is just like Kevin.
Yeah, this is Kevin in a nutshell. This would seem to be Kevin's modus operandi, Jared, is I'm riding high, I'm flying. What I better do is whip out a 3-hour epic of shocking proportions.
Yeah.
He's done it many times.
Yep.
All right, let's take a break. Here's the trailer for 2024's The Strangers, Chapter 1.
You are the messiest eater on the planet.
Lock the front door.
Why are you doing this to us?
Because you're here.
The Strangers, Chapter 1, only in theaters May 17th.
The Strangers, Chapter 1, from 2024, directed by Rennie Harlan, Jared, who directed Devil's Pass. It's produced by Alistair Burlingham, who produced Boss Level, Mark Canton, who produced 300, Charlie Dombreck, who produced Escape Plan 2, Hades, Christopher Milburn, who produced Hypnotic, Gary Raskin, who produced Moonfall, and Courtney Solomon, who produced Arthur the King.
Honestly, there's more producers than there are actors in
Well,
the movie.
stop. Wait. Just wait. There are 17 executive producers, 5 co-producers, an associate producer, a service producer, a line producer, and a development producer.
Did any one of those people have a good idea that
That's
they could have
fucking 30 producers.
So there is more producers than there are people in the movie.
What the fuck are they all doing?
I don't know. Lining up with their heads out.
You know what? Clearly. You know what I want to know, Jared? I want a fucking breakdown of what you all did.
Yeah, exactly.
I want dot points.
Yeah, yeah.
I want dot points.
I am divvying up the profits by...
Based on effort.
Exactly. I need timesheets. I need the lot.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. When you got that many producers, I need to know. Story was by Brian Bertino, who wrote The Strangers. The screenplay was by Alan R. Cohen, who wrote Due Date, and Alan Friedland, who wrote a TV show called Wedding Band. It stars Madeline Petch?
I think so.
Who plays Maya. Froy Gutierrez as Ryan. Matthias Lajak as the Scarecrow. Olivia Krutuzova as Dollface. And Letizia Fabry as Pinup. The budget was $8.5 million. Box office, $39 million worldwide. That's not bad. You made a little bit of profit there. Now, the film's script was originally 280 pages long, based off notes and ideas which director Rennie Harlan and producer Courtney Solomon juggled between each other. They were then separated into 3 different parts, which is now planned to be a trilogy of interlocked stories. I bet you the fucking screenplay was just like coasters and post-it notes and shit. And it was like, yeah, that looks like a screenplay.
We got 3 movies here.
All right, Jared. Where did you sit with this? And can you advise me? There was 2 other people in the cinema behind us. What was their review?
As we went with Matty, struck up a bit of a rapport on the way in because, you know, obviously small session. He kind of giggled and said, "You guys thought you were on your own, didn't you?" And then, so on the way out, I was thinking perhaps we'd been a little obnoxious. Not like we're pretty good cinema
We
goers.
were giggling and there was a little bit.
Yeah, when there was, you know, silly decision stuff, we were giggling and groaning and whatever. So I think Matty on the way out's done the sort of same thing again, just to kind of smooth the waters. And the bird says to him, "That was fucking shit." So I think I was in the same sort of mind frame that
Succinct.
Yeah.
Succinct.
I couldn't have put it better myself. Yeah, very ordinary. Very, very ordinary. Considering the original Strangers is not necessarily more in-depth in terms of story.
No.
It just does such a better job with the characters and the relationship between those 2 characters. You actually really care for what happens to the characters in the original, even though it's minimal. They still, I reckon, I'd have to go back to it, but it felt like we spent more time with these 2 in this movie, but we got far less of any characterization and any feeling in terms of the relationship between them, which starts it on the wrong foot. We get this whole sort of country town kind of closed off outsiders versus the people that live here kind of vibe that comes to nothing for this film, and I can only assume is going to be further developed in the next ones.
Well, maybe.
Well,
I would
it
assume.
has to be. I don't know why you would have all of these people in the movie the way they are in it, just to leave them there. I feel like it's got to come back around. These other people are going to be in the other movies somehow, whether they are going to be unmasked as some of the people that they ran into.
Yeah.
Perhaps that's an idea. But, yeah, there was a couple of moments of where it seemed like Rennie was able to kind of find the moment within a scene and start to ratchet up a little bit of tension and to draw us in a little bit. But every time it happened, it was then just undercut by something that just, honestly, most of it pissed me off. Like the character decisions and whatnot. It was a really frustrating watch.
No, yeah.
Really frustrating to watch. So all in all, before we sort of dig into it, I finished it at 1.5.
Yeah, and I did a small mini review on Instagram, and that was where I went 1.5. I'm with you. There are moments where Rennie, in the centre of the film, we get kind of what we got in the first Strangers. That tension is building. They're in danger, and these killers outside are kind of like really creepy. There's a creepy factor to it. But then, just putting into account, I mean, the acting is so bad, Jared. The performances are terrible. And the decisions by the characters consistently undo anything that would... You're too busy laughing. Yep. You're too busy laughing at what they're doing.
Yeah.
I mean, there's one bit in particular where all of us were fucking giggling at this guy. I mean, we'll get to it, but holy shit, like, you can't do that in a film like this. You have to ratchet tension and keep it on. And they didn't keep it on at all, but, I mean, you know what? Rennie's going to take a bit of heat.
Rennie's going to cop some heat.
He's going to have some heat. But his actors, I mean, Rennie must get a kick up the arse for not getting anything out of his actors either.
He's getting a kick up the arse because he directed and wrote. So it was involved. I don't think he was.
Well, he wrote a few post-it notes.
I'm pretty sure he's got a hand in the story of it. So, yeah.
But the performances are where I think things are really, really low. Is the two main actors? They don't hold anyone's attention at all, which is a very big problem. It's a big problem.
Yeah.
I was a 1.5.
Yep. So I've got some notes from Matty because he couldn't be here to join us for this one. But his sort of succinct score says, overall, should have hit up Tubi for Bong Man or something a little bit entertaining. 0.5 stars.
Oh, ouch. Jesus, Matty's usually pretty like, I can't be nasty.
Pretty level.
I can't be nasty. I'll give you 2.5. I mean, the guy gave fucking 3.5. I can't remember who he gave fucking...
Snake Eyes.
That's right. Snake Eyes, 3.5. All the rest of us were like 1.5.
Yeah.
But that's pretty harsh. That means Matty fucking really hated it.
Yeah. I'm sure he's pretty happy with me for dragging him out at 9:40 on a weeknight.
Yeah. But, I did not have a lot. In fact, I had very little. I think the killers look good.
Yeah.
I think the costuming and just the way they are.
Yeah, they're played reasonably well.
Very much like Michael Myers, almost, that whole kind of mask where they don't say much and then they just kind of walk off.
Yeah, for the most part too, like them just sort of wandering around and being seen like that is okay. It starts to wear a little thin when it opens up a little bit and we're not just restricted to this small environment. But overall, I was reasonably happy with that. The masks, I think, wise decision to not really change too much about that and the way that they are, because that's one of the things that was really successful about the first couple.
Yes. That does work. The only other real like I had was there's a period there from when they first knock on the door and they open the door and the light is out and you've just got this silhouette, you can't see the face or mask or anything, and so they ask, is it Amber? Is that what they say?
Tamara.
It's Tamara. Yes, Tamara there. And then when they say no, she just kind of stares at them and then just turns and walks off.
Yeah.
And I like that kind of, that was pretty creepy.
Yep.
And then we build that for about 15 minutes. We send him off to get his inhaler. Shit.
Fucking hell.
I wonder if that's going to come back.
Oh. Chekhov's inhaler.
But when she's alone for a period there, they hit a couple of nice notes.
Yeah.
The girl knocks again on the front door and we see her through the peephole.
Yep.
And then the scene in the shower, I think genuinely is kind of well done.
Yeah, the scene in the shower was where it kind of turned a little for me. Before that, I fucking loved the reveal of Scarecrow sitting in the chair while she's playing the piano using the mirror.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was cool. And that was in keeping with what we'd kind of seen a little bit. There was a few a few times Rennie tried to play the hits with the kind of walk in front of the camera from a shot behind it, that didn't work so well, but I
No.
thought the reveal there was fucking fantastic. And I thought we were onto something. I thought...
You thought fucking Rennie's he's just shook the rust off. He's ready to go.
The Rennie's back, baby.
And then you realise 2 minutes
No, I
later.
think by that time I was already sinking into the sort of low ones and twos.
Yeah.
But I thought, okay, well, we've got some of the bullshit out of the way, and now it's the stalk and slash. Rennie's going to do this all right, from what I saw there.
Yeah.
I was wrong. But,
Yeah.
I also liked the cabin.
Yeah, I did like that vibe, and I liked it had plenty of spaces to go.
Yeah,
and,
it seemed a little bigger than the original one, but when he's using it there early on, it starts pretty well. I thought, like, I could see just chucking things in, like the record player again and the piano, and I felt we were creating a nifty little vibe in that enclosed space.
Yeah, there was a good 10 or 15 minutes there where I was feeling like Rennie he's just shook the rust off. He's ready. He's back.
He's calling up Nightmare on Elm Street execs again saying, hey, what do you reckon?
I'm back. I'll be sleeping
Give
on
me
your
another crack
couch
at it?
out the fucking front of your office. But you know what I mean? I felt like we were starting to go somewhere.
Yeah.
So some of that stuff was good.
Yes.
The last thing, actually, I've got one more. I think that line of like, because you were home, why are you doing this?
Yeah.
Because you were here.
Yep.
I like that. That's been a constant throughout the series.
And it was delivered pretty well again.
It works, it does.
Oh, I can't remember which one it was, the pin-up and what's the other one?
Dollface.
Dollface and pin-up. I can't remember which one delivers it, but kind of just leaned forward into the shot and sort of paused for a moment and then said it. I was like, that
nicely
was okay.
done, nicely
held
done.
up all right.
Anything else? You got anything else on your list? Is
No.
Matty giving you any notes that
No.
make you when you give it a 0.5?
No, Matty
can't
gave
be a lot
me
in there.
Matty did not give me a positive anywhere here, I think. My favourite moment in the movie by far was when they nearly had a car accident. Then we hear the horns blow and two cars are sort of just stopped in the middle of the road looking at each other and the other guy gives him the finger and then drives past and goes, fuck off! At least I got a laugh out of that that I think was intended.
Yeah, I think that was intended.
So, yeah, I'll take that.
I don't have anything else.
No, that was pretty much it for me.
All right. Dislikes. Performances were just atrocious. Like, the two of them, they don't even convince as being in a couple for me. Like, I got nothing out of them.
No, I didn't really either.
In fact, the girl, she's almost like sing-songs her lines a lot.
Yeah, and there was just this, like, both of them were just insufferable.
Yeah.
It screams of, you see when some actors have a bit of chemistry and you can just kind of tell, even when there's bad dialogue, you can kind of see that, they're working, they're trying their best.
Yeah. They are
It just
working
didn't
hard.
seem-
These two are just not.
Well, it didn't seem like there was much chemistry. They just didn't strike you as a real couple ever. Not
No.
once through the whole thing.
And yeah, okay, they've been hired, in my opinion, they're hired because, they're good looking. They're a good looking pair. But you got to sell it.
Yeah.
At one point, they said they've been together for 4 years or something. I was like, Jesus.
Yeah, not buying
More like 4 minutes.
Yeah.
You look like this is a blind date.
Yes.
Like, none of that worked at all. And, no, in their defence, they were not given a lot to do.
No, there wasn't a hell of a lot. If I could be positive about it, I didn't mind in the cafe. There was a little bit of an interaction between them and the locals where, the locals are saying, oh, why don't you
Once you put a ring on it.
on it and whatever, and then old mate gets a little bit closed off and a bit cranky. But even then, there was not much going on. It was just they're trying to establish that, these guys have been together for a while.
I personally like the interaction outside of the car when it doesn't start.
Yeah.
Fucking ridiculous mechanic going, oh man, I need to get some parts. I need to get some parts tomorrow. You need to keep it here. The guy's blowing up going, you fucking did this.
Yeah. Of which we've spoken about, because as far as I could tell, I might have to go back and look at it, but that cafe had large windows. I'm sure he could have seen someone scooting out there and tinkering with his car.
Well,
but there was
It was
also
a fucking $150,000 BMW.
Yeah, but there was also one of these moments where we started laughing. And I think, look, I've got a bad feeling that we are going to come around to this kind of, the town is in on it in some way, and it probably was tinkering with the car.
Oh, don't doubt it. Don't doubt
in parts 2 or 3 somewhere. But The bit where he's sitting there pressing the button.
Yeah.
And she goes, "What's going on?" And he goes, "Oh, the car won't start." It's like
You fucking take
you're fucking sitting in the car. I
Thanks,
think we've fucking established that.
Thanks
that
for telling me the bleeding obvious. For
yeah,
fuck's
he's
sake.
got hitting the button, nothing's happening. You're sitting
Jared,
right next to him.
although I do understand, yes, they could, someone, if it actually is, yes, it comes back around, they've tinkered. But I don't know about you, if you've looked under the hood of one of those types of cars.
Yeah,
But it would take him fucking half an hour to get into it.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like the
He
old
didn't have
days
his
now where
computer.
everything just sits out. Like,
Yeah.
it's covered by this fucking big thing.
Yeah.
It's all computer driven, so he'd need to remove the case. So you would have had them having lunch and then outside just see old mate going fucking ripping things off.
I don't buy it, but I reckon that's
That's
where
what's
we're
happening,
gonna.
yeah.
I think that's where we're gonna end up.
Oh, yeah, I've got a vibe like Wrong Turn from
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
The remake of Wrong Turn, where it was kind of like the whole town was in on this shit.
Yep.
You know.
And that kind of made it even more frustrating because it doesn't come back again in this movie.
Mm.
So it's like, okay, that's the only reason I'm like they're holding this back, and we're going to find out more about who in that little group is in on this, who's under the masks. I reckon that's what they're going to go for. They're going to try to go for some reveals like that.
But Jared, see, one of the issues with all this is, are you going to get people back for 2 and 3 after they've had to sit through this?
Well,
Like when you fail to really grip them here, you that's where
you're probably not going to get them back, but they've already shot them.
Yeah, I know.
So they're coming out.
And
It's made money, so it'll go to cinemas.
yeah, and they're being made for a pittance.
Yeah.
So it's not like they're going, well, shit.
Yeah.
They
I
probably
think-
made more money than the 3 films were budgeted at
I think
already.
they made like 40 mil or
Yeah,
something.
40 mil.
So they've already...
Profit
I think
in
it was
some way.
10. Was
Yeah,
it
8.5,
10 budget?
8.5
budget. So you're laughing there.
Yeah.
You whip these two in there, make you quick 15 to 20 if that's what you make, and move on. So yeah, Matty's description was that they were both the most intolerable people on the planet, and he didn't like how they were constantly touching each other no matter the gravity of the situation.
There are fucking murderers here. Hold me.
Yeah.
There are murderers at the door.
Fair enough,
Fucking
fair enough.
grab my ass.
Matty also said predictable to a fault, which was also something that I felt a couple of times. That there were parts where it was just like, this is going to
And
shit.
not to shit on the whole, that 15 minutes that I really liked, but then Rennie decided to go back to the well. Continue to go back to the well. Like those kind of scares where they're hovering somewhere, and that's not... that doesn't build the tension. It doesn't hold it.
Yeah.
Because we're not then ramping things up.
And never more predictable than when, continuing spoilers, it's old mate holding the gun to one of the girls.
Yeah.
He just continues to talk to her, and you're just like, fuck, can we just get to it? Because we know exactly what's going to happen here. And
Of course it does. But also, Jared, people would say, but, we're normal people, so we wouldn't want to kill them. Hit her in the fucking face.
Yeah.
Like, you've got a shotgun with a rifle butt.
Hit her with the thing.
Bang, in the face.
Or something like that. Also, he pointed out himself that he just killed an innocent person.
Yeah. Honestly, mate, I'm not even I am not speaking a word. I'm just going, boom.
Yeah, exactly. You've already crossed that threshold, buddy. Just keep on.
And what
keep on going.
really shat me about that sequence too is how the baghead guy appears, but they're out in the bush. You would have heard him fucking traipsing up towards you.
Exactly.
But no, he's obviously got his wrestling shoes on.
Yeah. At that point, I was fuming. I was just done with the movie. But yeah, that was probably the worst part of the predictable stuff for me. Oh, the other one that Matty pointed out specifically in terms of the predictable was like, I wouldn't even say this was predictable, but you knew it was gonna.
It was going to come out this
You
way.
knew it was going to happen. Something like this. The nail under the house.
Oh yeah.
Oh, fucking honestly.
Use your eyes. Like, it wasn't that dark down there.
It didn't seem it, but even then, like, you just knew that, they got to be quiet, so, of course, something's going to cause it to make a noise. But then the worst part of that was they continue on. She manages to stay reasonably quiet. The second they get outside the crawl
Let's
space,
go.
old mate goes, let's go to the shed. It's like, Keep it down, idiot. That's what we've been doing for the last 10 minutes.
But then he starts to move with a bit of purpose, Jared, and then fucking randomly trips over something, and then he doesn't really fall that hard, and suddenly his knee's fucked.
His knee's fucked and he drops his inhaler.
Did he drop the? Oh, that's right. He actually went and got the
inhaler.
inhaler, didn't he?
Yeah, and as soon as he was in the car going, I'm just like, okay, so this is going to fuck him up
but
later.
it didn't really play in.
Well, it
very
played
well.
in. It played in
Just
because
to
he
have
had
him
to
leave.
use the bottle.
Oh,
He used
yeah.
the bottle.
Oh, yeah.
As of course, you can hear a bottle scrunching, but you can't hear someone going through the forest. Like it's just,
Yeah. A good one.
I mean, I kind of noticed that there was some kind of leaves and greenery on the ground and shit. So surely some of it's making some noise. Like,
yeah, I mean, the other thing that I think, look, actually, sorry, I'm going to slightly back pivot here, Jared.
yeah,
I actually did like the fact they had a car,
yeah,
the bad guys.
Yep.
Because me and you were talking 3-minute K.
oh yeah.
Like, get
of course.
out, get on the move at pace, but the car
It
makes
still
that
holds.
It still holds because
You get
I
off
veer
the
into the
track.
bushes.
Yeah,
I veer-
exactly. They can't go steaming through all those trees.
I veer into the bushes.
That nobody even. It still holds. We
Jared,
don't see anyone break into a 3/4 jog until fucking 75 minutes. Well, maybe it wasn't 75 minutes, but it was about 3/4 of the way through the movie.
but Jared, I'm looking at both of those characters. Both were fit, healthy, young.
Yep.
Easy 3-minute K.
Easy.
If you stretch, you're getting a 3-minute K.
Well, Matty said the girl looked like she did a bit of CrossFit. Other than that, there was no fight in either of them whatsoever. But it's
But you know what I mean?
it's every
Get
time I
on the
see this, I
move.
groan. She gets on the move. She's at a 3/4 jog. What does she do? Stops and hides behind a tree. If you've fucking seen where that person is and you think you're in the clear, keep
If that
moving.
person is behind you, you hoof.
Yeah. Yep.
Because they're not.
Well, I know
the days of-
Scarecrow's trying to go with an axe, so I'm going to be quicker than him because he's not dropping the axe. I've seen
But
that.
Jared,
Like,
you're not breathing well through a burlap bag.
exactly.
Like, fuck.
Exactly.
You're giving it these lines.
Yeah. Both the girls too.
Mate, you're going to have to pull those masks off if you want to. You want to
You
stay.
want to keep up?
Yeah.
Yep, exactly.
I mean, these guys are not Jason Voorhees. They don't reappear in front of you.
No, that's right.
So,
Well, they seem to a couple of times.
okay, I spoke
But
too
no,
soon.
it's the same. So I just like there was one point. Okay, there was the point where they had the gun too. But when the
fuck,
couple
mate,
when the couple get out the front at one point, they keep just kind of hanging around and let's go to the shed. Well, don't go to the fucking shed. Just keep
Just
on
go up the guts, yeah.
Like just continue on, and it's so frustrating that there's never any kind of. They never try that, and there's never any reason why that doesn't work.
See, I reckon the better way to do that would have been actually have them do it and then bring the car in as a sort of a stopping point.
Yeah.
At the minimum, you'd get my seal of approval on that.
Yeah.
I'd be like, well, you tried.
Old mate tripping on the rocks doesn't make me think he shouldn't run. Well, when we see him attempting to run, mate. Was that the part where all three of us burst out laughing?
Yeah. He just
Where
kind
they
of
kind
goes,
of got the side on and he's there sort of just shuffling through the woods holding the
That's
gun.
it.
It's like, oh, man.
He's hobbling and there's all this fucking fog and shit. It was
Yeah.
just ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I've always said this, Jared. If Michael Myers can keep up with me over a K, then he can kill me.
Have at it. Yeah, you've earned
Like,
it.
You've earned it, yeah.
Exactly.
Like if you run me down,
Yep.
all right.
Open space.
Yes.
I'm getting out onto the street and I'm legging it in a straight
I'm not
line.
gonna lie, Jared. These days, I think 3-minute K is probably more like a 5-minute K.
But you'd have Myers with a 4-minute K.
Look, you'd have Myers, yeah, easy, because
Yeah.
he's a walker.
He's a walker.
Jason, remake Jason.
Yeah.
That's going to be a little bit more difficult.
It's a little bit tougher, but again, burlap sack, weapon in hand. I get full extension on the arms if I need it. Jason doesn't.
Yeah, I get down lower. Like I'm driving. I'm using my big muscles, my power muscles.
Yeah. I mean, unfortunately, now I get half a K in, and the hammy's gone, and the calves are fucked. So it's just like.
But one thing I will say for Jason, he's a fucking brainless twerp. So he's going to keep going. Like he's not going to just go, I'm fucked.
Yeah.
I can't have this. So that sort of shit does irritate me.
It
but
really irritated me in this one because it was so... Like, when they got out a couple of times, the space was so wide open. So if someone does come out, you still got the chance for a quick goose step or something.
If I throw a fucking idiot away on you...
I'll throw a dummy. I might still have
that way. Straight through. But you know what, though? You need to make the injuries more palpable then.
Exactly.
Serious.
Exactly. Like that they'd had a run-in prior and got fucking sliced on the leg or something. Just...
Achilles tendon. Oh, it's like Achilles gone.
Yeah, God. Oh,
I mean,
shit.
fuck you. Actually, you're probably not getting around at all after that. But
No.
you know what I mean? Make them more serious. So there is no way you can break into a run here. Like,
Yeah.
She put her hand on a nail.
Yeah.
Apart from a bit of fucking tetanus, you can still you
Yeah.
can still up the pace.
It's not slowing you down.
I got wrapped that in the bandage and I go.
Yeah, continue on. And then when I get 2 Ks down the road, I think, fuck, my hand's killing me. But I can deal with it now.
Okay, 2 Ks down the road, I've got an infection. Yeah,
Yeah,
fair enough. But that's all right. I'm 2 Ks away.
Yeah, I just think it was so much more frustrating than I've seen that in a movie in a while.
Yeah.
Because it is like, okay, they've arrived. We're all at this fucking cabin. Just get out there and fucking leg it. I know you don't know the terrain. It's dark, but fucking chance your hand. Because at the moment, you're not doing anything.
But it's just a gravel driveway, so the terrain's pretty standard.
Well, if you're staying on the road,
It's a piece of piss.
easy.
The one for me, the funniest thing for me was when she's on her own and she's wandering around the house. She gets, she just had another knock at the door with the girl asking if Tamara's there.
Yep.
And in fact, that one's a better one because she looks through the peephole and she sees the same kind of silhouette, but then the hand goes up.
Yep.
That was cool.
Yeah.
So what does she do? 2 seconds after that? Better smoke a joint.
Yeah, yeah.
and then she
Don't
has
even
another
get me
run in
started
with
on
them.
this.
She has another run in with them in the house.
Yeah,
And then when the boyfriend returns, he says, "Have you been smoking?" And she
Yeah.
says, "Yeah, a little bit, but I don't think that's got anything to do with it."
No, but he says, "Oh, I know what happened. Yeah, you've been smoking a bit. Oh, yeah, you thought this picture that's fucking 10 feet away was a person. How strong was the fucking weed that you smoked?"
I mean, unless that was fucking out of like the best crop that's ever been.
Yeah,
But
did someone
also-
fly over and drop this off for you? Like, yeah, I don't know.
But also, Jared, she saw that thing in the closet upstairs.
Yeah, yeah.
And this guy points to a photo on the wall downstairs and says, "That's what you
Was
saw."
she upstairs? when
She was
saw it?
upstairs, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, I didn't even catch on to that.
But even if she wasn't, it was in the fucking closet.
But I say it was a person.
Yeah.
You idiot.
It was a person, and I am so baked right now. Yes, I'm fucking baked. And did you bring some fucking Doritos back with you?
Yeah.
Oh, hang on. The one thing we've got to point out is the whole blood dripping.
Yeah.
Remember when they're eating?
I
That
think it
guy's
should have
eating
been-
like a fucking animal.
I think it should have been her saying, yeah, I've had a little bit of weed, and then Jack Black comes sneaking past and going, "It was a lady. It was a sweet, sweet lady." Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, maybe I am fucking baked at this point. Like, I bought it from Titus, and it's fucking...
think it would have been better if she said, "I haven't been smoking. I just snorted a couple of lines while you were gone.
yeah.
And I've cleaned the entire house."
I think it was... that was just fucking nonsense, wasn't it?
I know. But that sequence where they're eating together and again they're trying to give us a bit of their friendly, playful banter. And I'm just like, this is shit house.
Yeah.
Like, it's shocking.
Stop talking to each other. Let's just move on from this. But then we also get the subtle, the tomato sauce just plopping down from the burger that he's eating. And they keep going back to it. A couple of shots of the tomato sauce is... And you're like, oh, this is subtle.
Rennie, for fuck's sake.
I think Rennie had
I
been
know you're
smoking
dashing
as well.
these off quick, mate, but fuck. A little bit of subtlety. Tiny amount. Hell.
Reddy. Jesus
We've watched,
Christ.
admittedly, Reddy's never been known for that shit in his career, so I don't expect anything better from him.
No.
The rest of it, like, I don't know. I because we didn't take notes, it's a bit hard. So I'm trying to remember all this stuff. But honestly, the film just kind of peters out at the end. And you said there was a sort of end credits sequence.
Yeah, there was a post-credits sequence which I YouTubed afterwards because I was ready to fucking storm out of the cinema the second the director's kind of,
name came
Directed
up, and
by
the next
turns up.
25 producers came up.
yeah. Well, if it took that long to get to the mid-credits sequence, we'd have been there for another half hour, which I wasn't prepared to do at that point.
No, it's not. I'm not going to lie to you, half hour in, I was not prepared to be there any longer either.
Yeah.
But yeah, the end credit sequence, I believe, is a bit of a dud too, is it not?
Yeah. Yeah. It just kind of, it didn't add anything. It didn't add anything for the future installments coming along. I don't think anything changes for them by this post-credits sequence, and it's just kind of, it's another one of these ones that can be interpreted in a couple of different ways, and it's not Donnie Darko-like. I think there's pretty much two ways you can take it. It's here or it's not. It's but
yeah, it doesn't have a lot of shades.
Yeah.
Put it that way. Okay,
Yeah,
part 2,
silly.
yes or no?
Oh, man, I'm going to be there.
Of course you are.
I actually think it's got a chance to be better because it's not just trying to copy the other one.
I actually wish Rennie wasn't directing it. Like that's my personal take, and that's I love some of Rennie's movies, but
Not this
I
one.
feel like you need a different kind of people behind the camera on
Yeah.
all of them, just to
Yeah.
give them different flavours. Now you're only getting one flavour. Rennie's flavour,
Well,
which
if it was good, you'd have been thrilled to have 2 more from the same director. But
Oh,
you're only feeling this way because it was a stinker.
yeah, well, yes, correct.
So, yeah, I don't know. Do you want to hear the rest of what Matty had to say?
Please.
Quick rundown.
Please.
Main characters had no fight. The girl looked like she'd done a bit of CrossFit. That was about it. Best jump scare was the rubbish disposal unit.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Agree with that. Logical responses to keeping themselves safe.
Yes.
And that's, we've mentioned that a couple of times, like let's go to the shed and, just...
What's in the shed too? You know what?
I'll tell you what was in the shed. A stranger was in the shed, which was, again, super predictable
Yeah.
that was what was going to
But
happen.
you know what? Weaponry.
Yep. This one
Get some weapons.
I don't particularly agree with. He said the strangers are stupid. Although I kind of like them playing the piano with the knife. Look, there's just not much of them, and you don't need it. But
No.
there's none of them making their decisions and getting to where they need to go or anything like that. We don't need any of that. I think he's probably making that comment from the sense of what we said about the way they shoot some of the scare scenes and things like
Yes.
that, which I didn't mind. I thought that was okay. Her response to a stranger possibly being in the house is to go upstairs and hide with the light on, like playing hide and seek with a 3-year-old. Yeah, fair. And that's where you're saying she decides to fucking blaze up. sees
Oh fuck! I'm seeing people are attacking me. Honestly, it's like the fucking like the guy in Flying High. Yeah, I picked the wrong time to stop sniffing glue and all that sort of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. As soon as things get a little bit stressful, she starts fucking going for the pot or the whatever.
Yeah. Now this one's interesting. This brings up a point about the townspeople
Oh.
that I didn't really think about, but also is not really the case for the original one either.
Yeah.
He said everyone in the town is mean. There's no chance for them to make a decision not to stay. Every
Yes.
decision is made for them, and it makes the movie just like random murder porn.
Very good.
Which is a good point.
Good point, because I kind of felt like if you went the opposite direction, that people were very friendly and helpful and everything. It starts with, okay, we're building like people are comfortable.
Yeah.
Everyone's comfortable.
But you know what else? Like, you've got places to go. Like, the car won't start. Is that what we're going for? Because later on, he uses his phone to open the lock, right? Now, I've done that. I've just recently, for the very first time, rented a car where there's no... You don't go to a desk. You don't go to anything. You go to a car park you've paid the booking already with your phone and open the fucking car and start the car and whatever with your phone.
So it's
So
an
I've
app.
done that just recently. So I'm like, okay, well, why can't we make it, the booking's fucked up on us or something? Like something, at least give us something different like that rather than the car just hasn't started. This is your fault, and fucking yelling at townies and things like that.
Where were they going again?
I don't even care.
I wish they'd
I
have
can't
kept
remember.
going.
Yeah,
But no, look, Jared, why wasn't it? This is why the first Strangers works. okay? It was their own house, I think, or at least a family home or something, was it not?
Well, we didn't have this thing about, you've been forced to stay.
Yeah. They were going there specifically.
There. Yeah.
Whereas this one, why wasn't it like...
I think weren't they going there to rekindle? Don't we have the bit where he wants to... Doesn't he propose to her in that one and she knocks him back?
Yeah, I think so.
So it's... we've actually got something that when we get to the moments later on, it fucking means something.
Plus, we've created tension between them two as well.
Yeah.
Because she turned him down.
Yeah.
And then suddenly they're thrown in the shit, so they're not actually on each other's side initially, so to speak.
Yeah, there's definitely
some
things
doubt
there that come out where you're like, I can't exactly remember exactly how it plays out, but I do remember there's this, there's a bit of tension here that they've fucking been apart, or they're trying to mend some fences and things like that, which just wasn't in this one at all.
But also, the car, why wasn't it just... Because they were supposedly long-distance driving, I believe.
Yes.
Why wasn't they pulled into town? They met, they hit the diner.
Yep.
Everyone was lovely. So they say, look, why don't we stay tonight? Is there an Airbnb around? Yeah, there's an Airbnb. It's out here.
But it's possible to make things a little creepy and a little unsettling without people just...
Seeing Damien Omen fucking...
Yeah,
Damien from the Omen giving out flyers.
As soon as you walk in... I forgot about that.
Jesus
too.
Christ.
Fuck me dead.
Yeah.
But as soon as they walk in... We get the old ding-a-ling-a-ling, everyone turns around and goes, and kind of looks at these new people in town and stares them down. It's like...
Everything goes quiet.
Can we do it a little differently? Like, can we... could it be that they're overly friendly, or there's you can build something there without it being, oh, fuck, new people in town, let's treat them like shit.
And then the mechanic's an asshole. And then when he goes back to get his inhaler, he fucking just about takes his head off. Which
was another one where I laughed at. Remember when he goes to get the burgers too, and they're like, come and join us. Oh, too good for a city boy and all this sort of shit. It's like, this is just...
Again, you can cut that out.
Randy, you needed another coaster to continue fleshing this part out. At least two coasters.
In the screenplay, it's just a fucking post-it note that says, townies.
Yeah, rude townies. Okay, let's get a second coaster, and can we add a little bit of depth to that? Very rude townies. Oh, come on, Randy. Okay, how about this? Weird townies. Oh, yeah, you're onto something, mate. Let's just push on.
Yeah, Randy, just fucking put them back down, mate. Let's move on to the next scene. But I'll tell you what, though, fucking Damien Omen comes up to me in the street and hands me a flyer about repentance or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm going, it's too late, mate. I'm
sorry.
already on the way to fucking hell.
Yeah.
So you've come to me late in the game on that.
Yeah, you needed to talk to me 20 to 25 years ago. I'm sorry.
What you needed to do is, like the Scientologist did, hold me up on the street.
I'm just sitting there going, Damien, does there happen to be like a statute of limitations on on forgiveness?
Yeah. Has God got a fucking program or something? Because I
have to say like one prayer per sin? Because if we do, I don't have enough years left to do that. How does this work?
Yeah.
Is there a payment plan?
My sin cup is full.
If I put more in the collection plate, does that wipe off a couple of prayers?
Well, so what is it? $20 per plate or what? 'Cause if that's what it takes, I may want to get in.
Again, I might need to rob some people to get the money to pay for everything that I've got to work off. But hey.
Is that a sort of like cancelling each other out? Like I robbed some poor bastard, now I've put the $20 in the plate?
Oh, man. And they'll be like, okay, yeah, I'm going to change my ways. And then I see the mechanic again. Fuck you, you bastard. Oh, sorry. I'll start a swear jar too, Damien.
No, I think the fucking kid would just go, you're already gone, mate. Like, well, I've had enough of this conversation.
Yeah. So Matty also, just a couple more points. He had the nail was predictable, but also he was not a fan of the reactions of pulling it out of the hand. And it was equally ill-conceived. He also had an issue. He goes, the issue, he was not a fan of the reassuring head nods from the boyfriend. He said it would have made her stab him.
Yeah, because what's that doing for me? Like, fuck. My hand does hurt. Like, I don't need you to go, everything's going to be fine.
I get it. You're nodding at me, but it's still a searing pain.
Yeah, exactly.
And the one thing that we didn't mention that really, I'm glad Matty mentioned it because we really need to kick this one. The proposal at the end.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Talk about, it's like you're throwing a steak onto a fucking barbecue that you haven't lit yet. Like, there's nothing there.
He proposes when we have built no chemistry, we've built no connection, we built nothing. And all we've done is put them in peril.
There's nothing between the characters. There's just nothing there at all. I think at that particular moment, I think all of us three and possibly the two other girls in the cinema all went, oh, God.
It was like, but it was also predictable because they'd mentioned earlier on, no, you've been dating for 5 years and you haven't put a ring on it. Like, you know, like you kind of knew that was going to come back somewhere.
Yeah.
I actually expected it when they first got to the house.
Yeah.
That once, like all classic rom-coms, he's got a fucking ring in his bag. You know, and then
I thought he was going to put it on the burger.
machinations, he loses it.
Yeah. Put it on the burger or something like that. But look,
problem is the way he ate that burger, he would have fucking eaten the ring too.
I wanted to strangle him after watching him eat that. No wonder that she hasn't fucking decided, yes, this is the one.
You can guarantee she was like, oh.
Yeah, every dinner time she's reconsidering.
Yeah, she's going,
whether she should be
thank
with
Christ he hasn't asked me to marry him.
Yeah.
I'm about to be murdered and you're going to propose to me.
Well, the proposal's one of those things, if you take that exact moment, but and this is what it's like in the original, you've worked hard. 2 actors and 2 characters that we actually, we're pulling for. We want them to succeed. We want them to get out of this. And we actually feel a bit of something now that they're in this what seems to be peril that they're not going to escape from. These 2, you just felt nothing. So when he does it, it was just like, oh, come on. Like, whereas if you take that exact thing, as they pretty much did in the first one, you have a very similar thing where they're kind of like, they've reached that point where there was that disconnect earlier on. It's okay. But with this one, it was just a fucking, it was a nail in the other hand too.
Fuck. Yeah, I didn't dig it.
I was not happy at all with that. Matty was also very upset with it to be continued, which I was kind of like, I don't know, perhaps I'd neglected to mention to him that we already knew there was 2 more on the way. So perhaps he wasn't with
judging by his review, I don't think he's coming back.
I don't think he's coming. Oh well, look, I reckon I could drag him over.
No, like actually, yeah. Look, if it pops up to the cinemas at 9:40 p.m, I think we'd fucking all be itching to go.
I think for the next one, I'm going to have to throw out, look, we can get there, we can get an 8:30 session in, but it's going to be on a Friday. What do you think, boys?
And also, it's a continuation, mate. We've seen the first one.
Yeah.
We may as well see the rest.
Or I can say, look, Matty, it can't get worse. We know that, surely. It couldn't get worse, could it?
Like, this is the thing. Reddy is so up and down. It could be even worse.
I don't even want to think about what it could be if it's worse.
Yeah, no, look, it wasn't good.
No, not at all.
It's not a good way to start a trilogy.
It's not.
Financially, yes.
Yeah.
It's fine. They've made $40 million on an $8 million budget, which has probably now covered the cost of all 3 films. So by the end of it, the run of the 3 films, you're probably making $50 million in profit.
Yeah, they'll probably do all right.
Yeah, so that it makes good fiscal sense. I mean, the 27 producers are all pretty fucking happy with the current state of affairs.
Well, they look at it and they say, look at the profits, and then they realise they've got to split it 30 ways and go, oh, shit.
Yeah, I'm making $4,000.
I ended up with, I ended up with enough to cover rent for the month.
Yeah.
Back to square one.
No, I was able to do 2 months rent. That's where we were at.
Then we quickly whipped together a Zoom call with 30 other people and go, Strangers 4, what are our ideas, people? We need a good one.
What about another trilogy? And how about 10 of you blokes drop off?
Yeah.
All the fucking co-producers can go away. All right, well, that's The Strangers, Chapter 1. You can find us on iTunes, Podomatic, Spotify, YouTube even. And anywhere else you get your podcasts. Send us an email at thrillme@iinet.net.au. We're on Facebook. at Thrill Me Podcast Australia. We're on Podomatic, and we're also on Instagram at Thrill Me Podcast AU. Keep an eye on the Facebook page for what we cover next. But until then, take it easy, everyone, and we'll catch you all later. Cheers.
Find the podcast at Podomatic or on iTunes. Don't forget to rate and review. Like us on Facebook at Thrill Me Podcast Australia, or contact us at thrillme, all one word, all lowercase, at iinet.net.au.